teaching someone how to do something, that's time. And these tickets are flowing in fast. Not to mention, so far we've been kind of splitting. Chris has been helping out with level 1, you've been helping out, but there's still level 2. There's still,
I'm in the request now, so I'm just wiping out like the
there's
level 2
still
that
the
I
stuff
have,
that
and then
I'm responsible for from Ken with the school order stuff.
Well,
There's
first,
still.
Oh, he called me.
we're going to start switching. I had a conversation with Ken,
Okay.
and last week, beginning of this week, I'm like, with the change that we're making now, I said, Ken, we kind of gave you a break and let you get caught up with new schools, but we got to start moving stuff back to you. And he's like, that's fine. So, yeah.
Yeah, because we can't burn it on both ends. We gotta.
It's burning on both ends and the middle.
Yeah. So
So it's getting, and we're on freaking day 2.
right.
and this will make you guys feel even better about yourselves. Ali, Chuck, Alicia, Anna, and I met a month ago, 3 weeks ago, not real long ago, but downstairs in Independence Hall.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about the service desk transition. And that's where I drew the line in the sand and said we're not going to take phone calls until we have the level 1 Larry on board.
Mm-hmm.
And Ali started pushing, but Chuck was physically in the meeting as well. Ali, Alicia, Chuck, and I were all in the room.
Okay.
And David wasn't there, but regardless. I drew the line in the sand. I said, there's no way. And he's like, Ali's like, well, why not? And I said, because there's no way we can actually handle that bandwidth with the people we have now. And Ali pushed back a little bit. And finally, Chuck actually spoke up and said, Ali, the answer is no. And I was like, and not that Chuck doesn't have my back, but Chuck was a firm, no, we can't do that until we have somebody in and ready to take calls. And Ali kind of let it go at that. Well, meeting on Monday this week about the transition plan, Ali was like, well, I see that you're looking to switch over the phones on the 28th, which is the end of this month. And I said, yeah, that's the plan, switch over at the end of this month, towards the end of the month. And he goes, well, I really think we should be taking calls before that. And I said, Ali, we already discussed this. There's no way we can do it. And Ali came back and he said, well, I really think we should be able to turn, switch the phones over before then, and then your team should be able to take care of it. I said, Ali, if you recall, when we were sitting down in Independence Hall, I said no, and Chuck came back and agreed and said it's a hard no. And Ali let it go. And I'm like, okay. Then I get a message from Chuck.
Mm-hmm.
I had a conversation. Ali told me about your conversation this morning or earlier, and I think we need to come up with a way that we can start taking phone calls. I'm like, I got to talk to Chuck's out of office. But the answer is there's no way. If he wants us to test the system, okay, take a call or two to make sure it works.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm on board with that for testing. But we're not taking calls. There's no way.
We don't have the capacity.
We don't even truly have the capacity to be dealing with what we're dealing with now.
And we're still, because it's like, you've seen it. You've seen the queue as it's been developing, as you've been going in. Like, it started off, it was 16. I got it down to 6. It jumped back up to 14. Me and Chris jumped in. We got it down to it's now at 8. And I guarantee he's going to go up and get in front. And then, like I said, he's doing a great job, of going in and he's jumping on some of the tickets. It's mainly my thing, which I'm, trying to balance out the best way I can, because I also know, like, he has the level 2 to handle as well.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm spending so much time in this because I'm trying to tackle some of the stuff, and I'm making calls too, which is something I said I did not want to do, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But I'm making calls just to kind of close out a ticket, because me personally, Chris, and we talked about it, we are not the type of individuals that like to see tickets in the queue. Like, once we see tickets, we feel like we're, like, me personally, I can speak for myself, I feel like I'm not doing my job. Like,
same.
So it's like, I know how the help desk used to do things. They used to pile up, but like, it's at 8. I like to see it at 0.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how
I don't want to see it go 30.
So it bothers me, like, when it even here. So it's like, we're doing our best to keep it down. And because we're occupied, like yesterday, Chris was dealing with this, and then he had Kevin Burton
came in,
like,
and Dr. Lauren was like an hour call because we were just trying to figure it. We
So
got the win, but
so the capacity is
I feel you. I see it, and you know.
so I don't know how they plan to do that.
I am, as you guys know, I'm making phone calls. I'm doing level 1 stuff too. I mean,
Right.
So the fact that the three of us are dedicating a chunk of our day to now working through these tickets, it just solidifies the fact there's no way in shit we can actually start taking calls. There's literally no way in hell we can start taking calls. And for somebody to go, well, I think you can, who doesn't know anything about what we're actually doing, they're on crack.
Yeah.
And if and circling back to your sending stuff to the FCs,
Mhm.
I think during, as much as I want to say for the issue where they're asking for their signature to get updated, I want to say let's just help them with it because then we're done. Let's talk about it because it'll take you probably less time to help them or show them how to do it than it will be to compose the email for the FC, and then the FC gets back to them in 3 days, and they're like, "What the shit?"
Mhm.
So we got to balance that, and signatures might be a bad example.
Yeah, I've never done it. So like,
Yeah.
I'm just throwing it out there because that's not. It sounds like a training thing because I've never done
It
it.
is. They can,
So
what I should say. Let me rephrase that. The owner can do it. So if the director doesn't have permissions to do it, they can't do it. And as we're starting to see, a lot of times the owners aren't even there. They're there for like 2 hours a day.
Mhm.
And I just had that issue with the. I was on a call. The director 2 was trying to reset her FMS password, and I reached out and I gave in the ticket and gave instructions how they could do it, and they came back and said they can't do it. It wasn't no, it was
because they don't have like access to
I
it.
came back and said, well, director 1 should be able to do it, or the owner should be able to do it, and the answer was, well, the owner's almost never here, and director 1's not here today. So the instruction part of it only works if the person who could do it is actually present to do it. For what it's worth, let me just we'll touch on that. Let me just go over this for right now. And Chris, I don't think you can record if it's only 2 of us.
and let me record.
It lets you record?
Mm-hmm. It's not transcribing. I made sure it's off that, so it's just recording the screen.
Okay. So, let's touch. Well, stop recording for right now.
Stop recording. Stop.
And you don't mind delete that recording because that recording is us talking about
Yeah, sure.
the Ali
Yeah.
phone call. Right.
Yeah.
So was it a recorded voice or just well, it records.
So it started transcribing at first. Then I X'd out of it. Then I went in the little option where there is an option where you could stop transcribing, and I hit stop transcribing like 5
It still
minutes in.
listens to voice, I think. Though.
So yeah, I'll delete just to be safe.
Yeah.
Just wipe her out.
And check in your because it sends it to a folder when the meeting is done.
Let's find it first.
So what you guys may want to do is end this meeting, so it sends that and then start up a fresh meeting.
Recording is ready. Here it is, right here.
Yeah.
Recap. So let me. How can we delete her?
It's going to send you a link when it's done. And I think Toby, you did the meeting, right? Or was it this?
I just invited this thing.
Okay, so that you would have it saved to yours.
I didn't. I'm not part of the meeting.
Oh, so
I'm just plugged in.
So who?
Which normally you can't.
Oh, I could delete it. I'm deleting it right now.
Normally you can't record between 2 people. Maybe
Because it's a
meeting
meeting.
room.
Okay.
It lets you do it, but
Probably, yeah.
So let me just delete the
Yeah,
transcript.
yeah.
So I deleted the transcript for good. Now I'm looking at trying to delete the video.
Just to recap really quick while he's doing that, I think it's under you. Like when you're going into change passwords, user management, and you find the person, or find the school, whatever the case may be, and then go from there. I believe, right?
yeah. Here, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna paste this in the notes.
There we go. There we go. And I think you would do change password after you select the school. Do change password and enter the new password. Okay, cool.
Okay,
All right.
so I'll show you. right now I'm logged into Westford, Massachusetts.
Mhm.
If you're looking to update, and Chris, if you want to start recording this, you can. That's fine.
Okay.
We may break it up into segments so that we're talking about one topic at a time.
Sure. All right. Ready, and I'm going to start recording, confirm, and then I will make sure it's not transcribing. One second.
Okay. So if you go to the school you want to go to,
Okay. It's not transcribing.
perfect.
It's just recording.
Go to the school you want to go to that needs a password reset. And go to administration.
Yep.
User management.
Mhm.
You'll see a list of all the schools' accounts, the director accounts, the owner accounts, and teacher accounts. If they had teacher accounts, you'd see those as well. So if you wanted to change the password for the D2 account,
Mhm.
highlight the D2 account, and then hit change password.
Perfect.
Okay.
If you wanted to, if they wanted to change the name and actually put the person, normally don't do that, but if they wanted to change the name,
Mhm.
use the edit, and you can change the names. Typically for director accounts, they don't, but if there's a situation where they wanted to, that's how you change it, under edit.
Okay, because I think I did it a different way. So when I searched, I took out the school and I just put the email in, and it brought the person right up. So like on the school, you can select the school. It shows you all the people.
Yep.
All I did was it's a blank option at the top. I selected the blank, and then I just entered in the person's email address, and it came right up. Except it brings up like every column for that person, and you
Okay.
can monitor. So it's the same thing, except yours is probably easier because it brings up all the
All the
accounts,
accounts.
whereas this just brings up that account that you're trying to work with.
So one other thing you want to look for here is if you ever get somebody who's saying they're locked out of their account, like disabled, you want to check the enabled status because an account can get disabled. It rarely happens,
Mm-hmm.
but you can always check to make sure that the account is enabled. And then you also want to take a look at if you're working with an owner, you can identify which account. Now this is obvious, but you're going to see some schools where it's the first not last rather than the actual owner address. And you'll know that account has owner level access. And if you want to change that access, again, if you go under edit, you can make this account an owner. You do not want to do that for a director. I mean, you don't want to give a director account owner access because that gives them a whole lot of options.
Can they request that? Is the question. Especially if it's not like an on-site owner. Would have owners requested? I haven't seen it personally in the queue, but have people requested that just to get? Because I know
a director FMS account should not be given owner access. Now, a director account can be given a power user access.
Yeah.
And you see that through.
It's on the rules. I see the account I made. It shows up on the rules.
Yeah.
You can add it. Yeah.
There's a power user. Here's on-site operator, but we're not sure exactly what that actually does.
At the top under administrator.
Power user. So that's a very common one, especially for Director 1. And the power user option gives them that account the ability to run financials and to see more information.
Okay.
It shouldn't be a standard for all directors. Typically, it's usually just one or two directors that have that ability to access the financial information.
Okay.
That's what that power user gives you. All right, you can stop this recording. This kind of covers that.
All right. Okay, recording stopped.
Okay, so your
email profiles.
Batch email.
Where the heck is it? Okay. So if somebody wants you to, like, if the the director wanted you to update their signature, right now it doesn't have a signature. So it's just showing that the owner account has a signature in this particular school.
Okay.
So if you click on that one, and you click that, there's their signature. And owner can go through and do this. So if somebody is requesting, hey, we want to have director one have a signature, then the suggestion is that the owner go through and make the signature whatever they want. And they can go into administration, email, profiles, click on the director one account, click on edit, and can copy and paste the signature in there or add it in there manually. So it literally is a 2-minute conversation, or you send them some screen snapshots that you can keep handy and just dump into the ticket and send it back to them. The issue you're going to run into is, again, and I already had this happen, where the person who was requesting it didn't have permission to go through and change it.
Okay.
So I basically, at that point in time, said, well, when the owner's back in the office, work with the owner, and they were like, okay, that's fine. But signature is not a stop, drop, and roll, something's on fire emergency.
Absolutely not.
Where it becomes slightly more important is if you have, Sue Smith just left and now it's Amy Jones, and they want to change it because they don't want to send stuff out as Sue Smith, who's no longer here.
You want to do Amy Jones.
But so that takes a little bit more urgency, but the owner can still go through and do it themselves.
Okay, so yeah, that's the situation that we have here. I mean, that's not. Now the question with that, well, because we're looking at it from our perspective, which we can see a lot more. When they log into FMS as far as an owner, they will just see their schools and their accounts associated with them, pretty much. Because right now, under this section here, first of all, I don't know how we would change from, like, mine's just showing Philadelphia, for example.
You change the school up here.
Where? Oh, gotcha.
Just drop down and you can pick the state and then the school.
Got it.
Now, multi-school owners
Would have that
can do
option.
the same thing, but they only see the list of their schools.
Cool.
So they would have to go into
Okay.
administration, email profiles, and then select the person and hit the pencil at the bottom to modify the signature.
Yep. So
I check because there's no KB on this. So
if you want to create one, that's great. Or create something that we can quickly email to the owners and say this is how you do it.
because the directors, because this director is a power user, so they still wouldn't have the ability to do it as
They
a power.
could. They very well could.
Okay.
I can't answer that. The other piece of it is, even if they give a director power, the power user,
It's just financials, I think.
it's primarily financials, but I'm sure it probably gives them access to do other stuff as well.
Mhm.
I just don't know what that is. The other
Right.
piece is there's more granular permissions that I know nothing about.
Yeah, I think when you go to it, it shows you like a brief. Like for example, it says like when you hit power user, it says like when I went to it just now, it said account. What is it? I'll go back to it.
Chris, you can stop this recording.
I stopped it when you told me to. So all of this is not recorded on
Okay.
Teams.
It said there we go. Allows director level tasks plus account is what it says in the description for it. So it's base level.
So I don't know that itself inherently gives them the ability to change signatures.
Right.
Why the shit signatures would be such a high security, you need government
A signature,
clearance to do it, I don't know. But
Now to switch back over, once school support services bring in their person, we will no longer have to even escalate to them. We would just send these types of things to that person. Is that the plan?
the answer is yes.
Okay.
if and when.
My vision is twofold.
Mm.
My vision is to update the actual phone system to
Mm.
say if you're calling about, right now it says if you're calling about Wonder Learning, press 1, calling for any other service related, press 2, and that's what ring service says.
Mhm.
I would add a third option. If you're calling about FMS,
Press
press
3.
3 or whatever three
Oh,
number.
they go. They gonna need to hire.
3
more
gonna go
than
crazy.
They gonna need more than one person over there
And that will hit whoever in school support has
in place.
in place. Now, any ticket that comes in, once we update the portal,
Mm.
that somebody identify, and it's owners putting in a ticket through the portal,
Mm-hmm.
they'll have the ability to hit the drop down, pick FMS, and pick a subcategory. That'll boom over them.
Routed. Okay.
Now, if that school support person looks at it and says, "Hey, this is actually a development programming issue,"
They can either escalate or send it back to us.
They'll sign it to Libra,
Okay.
and it should never cross our desk. Now, when somebody puts in an email to submit a ticket, there's no way for it to effectively route it. I mean, Snow can key off, trigger off keywords, and if they say FMS, but the reality is, I don't know that it's cut and dry enough. I think you'd end up with a whole bunch of other crap going to that group that would frustrate them. So there's a really high probability that we're still going to receive email tickets that are FMS related, in which case we just assign them to the school support team to reach out.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if we're 2 weeks away from that, or 2 months away from that, or 2 years away from that. There's meetings scheduled for after the convention for us to connect with Jacqueline and Linda to circle back, and I know they've created a job description for it, so there's reason to believe we're making a little bit of traction and headway on it, but I don't know what that looks like.
Quick question, slightly off topic. I know we discussed before tickets in general. My responsibility as it is until this person comes in is going through this queue, reassigning, closing what I can close, right, for right now until this person comes in and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if we're being realistic, is going to affect my ticket closure or output in general. And that's something we have a person that's, when it comes to numbers, that's important. So how would that be looked at for me? And it might affect Chris as well, because he's going through the same, thing. And I know that's a big push we were going through, is making sure that we keep a certain volume of tickets closed or whatever. And a lot of these tickets are being sent over to Wipro. Like I said, I've closed whatever I can close because a lot of them I've reached out to, but it's not probably going to be the output that they would like to see, for being realistic.
I'm not worried about the resolution response times right now until we get Larry in place and operational.
But not response time. Sorry, like
The volume.
number of tickets closed, because I know that was something we were just trying to make
looks
sure
at the numbers.
Yeah, we're making sure we get to, because before it was like, okay, we weren't closing enough tickets.
We can only close the tickets we get in. I mean, we can't generate more,
that's what I'm
generate
thinking.
more
Yeah.
tickets. So as long as we're doing the same process we should have been doing of documenting walk-ins, like Brandy from yesterday, that should be a ticket.
That I could be better at though. Well, I kind of
It's tough because you're boom, 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 moving on.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of stuff we need to make sure we put in, because part of the reason Ali's pushing so hard, because you're looking at going, you guys only deal with this many tickets a day, you should have plenty of time.
It's not the case.
He doesn't understand the story. So we've got to paint the clearest picture we can. And I got to keep pushing the fact that these tickets don't just take 5 minutes for us to go through. Some of them do.
Right.
But some of them take some time, especially when you start talking about level 2 tickets. They could be, you were on the phone with Dr. Lauren for an hour. Does he want us to say, Dr. Lauren, sorry, we only got 10 minutes left in our call?
she's not the one you want to do that with. She ain't the one.
That's the reality.
She will get it.
Or
Yeah.
Kevin Brickner, your new person coming in. Sorry, we're at our time limit. Call back tomorrow. It's
We won't look good.
no.
Well, he won't look good because they're talking at that level. So,
So all I would suggest is try your hardest to be as diligent as you can to enter the tickets that you're working on that for walk-ins and Teams messages and everything else. I mean, but at the end of the day, let's get through. We'll have a try.
That's the problem. Okay, no, I was working with Michael Glazer earlier. That's what took me a minute to get in here. And after all this time, he was telling me about his email having issues. And I'm telling him, okay, like make sure that you're going to the App Store and doing this and doing that. You know, the whole time he's working for the native inbox, the native email that's on the.
He's not in the Outlook app.
He's not using the Outlook app. So as he's sending me screenshots, I'm like, that's why it's not working. But okay, we'll get him right when I get back.
Speaking of that, off topic, Toby, were you able to connect with Nishith and or Brand or Kevin in reference to what Brandy did? Yeah, I know both of those are very low at level with what we got going on.
I've not talked to, but I will.
There's still a lot of other stuff here in the chat. And then also when you're done with that, the Ken hit me yesterday about this whole Westfield thing. He's still on that.
Well, and I asked Ken, I think he sent it over to me. Let me just do one thing at a time.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. I was just saying we'll discuss that.
So you're mine. So Brandy, we basically swapped their PC out, right?
And it's still
the PC. No. The PC that she gave us. It looks almost like a mark. You know how like you hit a screen. Let's say your son hits the screen with like a stylus too hard, and it's like a dent in the LCD screen now. It's a dent in that brand new laptop. And so Brandy's actually in today, and I ain't say nothing, but it was just
She's
like
in the day? Actually not.
I could have sworn I saw her.
Because Kevin's not in, is he?
Kevin is in today.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's probably all in to me.
She sits right in front of my dad.
My fault. You would have noticed it, Brandy. Yeah, my fault. I got.
And
Yes, sir.
She was wearing. We're not recording.
No, sir.
She was not.
She was wearing skin tight leather pants.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And she was
Catwoman.
She thought it was Halloween. Okay.
Yeah. She found the tightest thing she could put on, and
she couldn't breathe. Okay.
Yeah. Like, dear, when you got to go to the bathroom, what you gonna do? Anyway.
It might be a zipper somewhere, brother. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, you're right. No, they do that. They do that.
Sound like something that what's the actor?
With the bodysuits and stuff, they do that.
Actress, well, the one that played Catwoman,
Halle, or it was a couple Cat Williams.
Holly Berry.
Yeah.
Miss Berry, yeah. yes, sir.
I did get a response from Brian. He said he can get the cable. I might see if we can get a couple. Like I said, I might see if we can get a couple in here.
That would be great because you're just sending her one.
The USB-C, the C cables that we use for docs.
Yeah.
What's the name of these ones? So I was going to have her drop ship.
Yeah, Shannon.
Why are these $35 a piece?
For the cord?
For the cable.
We can get them from Amazon. I've already gotten some from there.
Okay.
That support video.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
$35 for one.
So he's getting it from Lenovo.
He's getting the actual Lenovo cable.
Yeah, so he got the one that.
I thought they were way cheaper than that. Wow.
$35.
Hoo-wee. You want to get a bundle?
So he wants $42 to drop ship it.
But that's why I didn't want to send her one from here because I'm thinking we're going to pay more for the packaging than the actual.
They paid $6 for
it might be
from FedEx, and it's ground, so it's $6. I don't know how much we would pay from here, but it's $6.
It might be light then from here.
Because I swear we ordered some before Toby a while ago from Amazon.
We did.
Okay, so we can just order. All right, that's fine. Because $35 probably got us like a good pack of cables.
Hold on, but the ones you get from Amazon, will they charge the laptop?
They work. So
and do they have the USB-A portion?
They don't have that. That's the only thing.
They don't need.
They don't need it. Okay.
Computer we have. USB.
Because you can't charge with it, so it doesn't.
Right. Yeah.
Whatever cable you get, not all USB-C to C.
It's created equal.
Carry data.
Yeah,
or carry video.
Video, that's the big piece. And charge, because I remember we had ordered some that was like regular. I think it's USB-C 2.0. I think it's.
Yeah, it was one day because you had told me they were like skinnier and they would project video, but they wouldn't charge.
They wouldn't. Yeah, they wouldn't. Yeah, it was like that's probably just
that was a finesse.
Yeah, it was the jokes.
He said, "We got you."
Yeah, it was.
You saw that $5 price. She was like, "Oh yeah, let me grab 7 of them."
Oh yeah, she ordered the pack. And they was not working.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Shoot. Oh man. we're sitting here doing backflips if they decide to have us do these phone calls. It's gonna be the Wild West.
If we start doing calls
You can't breathe.
well, I mean, we need to have realistic expectations about closing ticket times.
Oh,
They would have to push it back a little bit.
Well, I don't know how many calls we get, how often they're. I mean, it's also multiple. I don't know how many calls we get per day as it is now.
Let's say you get 8 calls per day, right? But you still got walk-ups, you still got the ticket flow that's coming in and all of that.
Yeah.
So it's just like and you can't duck a call. You got to pick that up.
Right, because you duck a call. Hey, the help desk is not answering.
They spun.
What is going on?
He said, "Hold on, I'm gonna put my manager on the phone and go." I was talking to Tone and not Antone. Yeah.
So I'm telling you guys can see it. I'm telling you to shoot it by end of next week. So you can drop it off at the office. That would be great. If that's not an option, we can provide you FedEx number.
Thank you.
That.
Also, Nashif, right? Nashith or Nashith. I call him Patel.
Did you call him the shit?
No, I never said Nashith. I said Nashith or Nashith. I think Jeremy says Nashith. That's why I started saying Nashith.
Really, that's how it's pronounced. It's the TH at the end. That's what it looked like. If I'm being honest, it's SHITH. So I don't know how he says it, but it looks like it.
Honorable guy. However, I'm
NP and Patel.
So yeah, I call him Patel. I say, Mr. Patel, what's going on? That's my way around it. But no, so what happened was he has a E14 G5 with the touchscreen. It wasn't enrolled correctly, so he got a G6 or regular G6.
Okay.
He still kept the G5, and when we talked to him about, it came up because he was using the G5 and he had the G6 in his possession. He's working with Jeremy. Jeremy's like, "Hey, Chris, is his thing enrolled correctly? Can you check it out?" I go on my records. I'm like, "No, he has a device that's enrolled. He's not using it." Jeremy was like, "Oh, okay, that's the problem."
And do what with it?
No, he just wanted to keep the touchscreen boy. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, that device isn't even a year old. Yeah. I need that.
Yeah, we got to repurpose that.
He's like, all right, give me the Monday, and I got you. That was 2 Mondays ago.
I had to have a conversation with Mark Cameron because he was doing the same thing. Because we gave him the Surface, which is in a roll, but he keeps using the what's name, and he keeps having issues. I'm like, Mark, you're having issues because you're not using, and because those Yogas are notorious for like having issues with the NIC driver. Because remember, he keeps having issues with his phone. Every time I have to reinstall the NIC driver, and it works for a period of time, but then stops.
All right, I didn't realize that was the issue.
That's what I did the first time. So,
okay. So back to the original question at hand: how do we handle FC handoffs?
Right.
How to's?
For signature change. I'm willing to see if we can spend 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and be done with it. For bigger issues, then I think do you have the template that you used?
No, I don't have the template. If I was going to be, we can use a template. Yeah, that's probably a good idea because, to be honest, me personally, I thought about just calling the FC like, hey, this is what's going on, or sending them an email and then CCing the person, but I didn't have the template.
No, so the process should be, if we identify that this is a training-related item that the FC should be able to help them with, if there's a template, just ask Alex.
Let me ask in the chat if you can send me the template.
And the template gets emailed. You fill out the template. It's got the ticket number, the description, school, some other crap. Fill out the template, which is you'll see shortly why I'm saying it's going to take you 5 minutes to answer the question and close the ticket. It's going to take you 5 minutes to fill out that freaking form and email it to the school support. So we got to find a check and balance between are we spending 5 minutes and we're done with the issue and it's closed? Or are we spending 5 minutes and sending it to the FC and then it's going to take 3 days before they get back to us? Or get back to the school?
Because I think the process is send it to the FC, the manager, and Linda. I think it is.
Linda and copy. It used to be copy.
Us.
No, Big Red. Ashley. Bettenthal, whatever it is.
Why were we talking Ashley?
Because she was responsible for what fix.
For who?
For what?
You said what fix? I don't know
It's called what? You never heard of What Fix?
What fixes the? It's a.
Oh, is it the bolt-on for
The bolt-on for FMS.
Okay, got it.
It's actually a bolt-on UKG as well. So if
Okay.
you go to UKG, it's got a little help button on the side.
the little icon? Okay, got it.
But they actually wanted to be included because she wants to see. She doesn't do anything. She's not answering questions. She wasn't, and I'll get back to that in a second. But they were using that to identify that. Okay, here's something we can add in to what fix to help train for the next time.
Got it.
Well, Ashley has now moved to a different position.
Okay.
So Robert Fuller, who's like the developer who actually does the work, I'm not sure what Ashley does, but
She's changed.
Ashley, what's her last name?
Nothing.
Bettenthal, whatever it is.
Oh, tall Ashley.
She has changed.
Yeah, no, she's been here for I don't know how
Yeah,
long.
but since I've been here, and she's done one for me. It's been. I don't understand. It's too many. It's up down.
Yeah,
Like,
she told me she was in IT at one
She
point.
was in IT, so was Robert. But
Yeah,
she was
it's-
in IT with Robert.
Oh,
And
And she's like a director when I started with under Christina, and then she moved over, and then she moved. I don't shit.
she stuck around.
she's sticking around, but that
How did it reproject after? Oh, because you're plugged in HDMI.
I
Your best friend just hit me up. Shannon.
I'm cool with Shannon.
He said, "Pass her to you." I got you, brother.
Listen, I don't mind. Listen, you know I'll handle just about anybody.
you want Hannah.
That thank. No,
Hannah?
I was trying to think of the name.
Oh no,
If Hannah hit me up, I will definitely hand it to you, brother. I got
it's all good. You know what we discussed.
All Caitlin's tickets are automatically assigned.
I told him I will take, because he told me. I said I will gladly take Caitlin's tickets.
It was only one person I never wanted to work with, to be honest.
Would you?
She's no longer here. She's all good.
Okay, okay, but
Is that the old HR admin?
Yes, sir. Well, not her, but above her.
Oh,
She was cool, but
no,
I work with her. Don't get me wrong, but
No,
it was not my
I
preference.
disagree. But okay.
with Christina?
Yeah, I was not a fan.
She
She was hit or miss.
Yeah. You just had to understand.
I understood her. It's just that
expectations.
I understood her. It's just that I didn't like the way she did things.
Over the other one, I'll take her in a heartbeat.
So we could,
Over
but
Hannah?
Oh my God, I work with Christina in a heartbeat over.
Yeah.
No, it's hard to rub me the wrong way. So once you get there,
right
it's
now I'm
like,
okay with everybody.
you're there.
So we're all good.
You're there.
Chris says he found his one.
No. Listen,
I'm sorry.
all those Apple folks down there, I'll do it.
I legit had the only owner that I don't like was Slava.
Slava.
Not too long from
Oh,
Portland.
he was different.
He was KJ was going to handle it.
Shalom is different, but I don't even have an issue with Shalom.
He's like, I want you to know I'm an IT director at my previous company.
Yeah, he's got
What?
issues, but Slava was a whole nother level of douchebag.
Is that the one? It was one that was somewhere in Tennessee somewhere.
No, he's in Illinois. Oh, Tennessee was Juanita.
She was a pain for a while.
Juanita was a pain until she realized we were all on her side. And
Yeah,
then
she was-
kind of settled. And I went to visit her when I was out in Tennessee, and
Mhm.
it went well. And
Okay, so she
we're-
was good.
we're good now.
I don't think I've
Slava,
ever worked with Slava actually.
Where's Slava's at? Where?
He's in Illinois somewhere.
Oh, Chicago. Or not.
Yeah, Hawthorne or something H.
Okay.
Either way, he and I was never mean to him, never rude. I started to become very crisp and clear and short in my conversation. But he absolutely he was somebody, as soon as my phone would ring with his number, I would want to throw my phone.
Try to make it
There's
rain.
nobody else who would make my blood boil like this.
Yeah.
Well, now there might be in that corner office over there.
He might have. He
He
has
might have
the
elevated.
championship belt.
He won the match.
But
Yeah.
Slav actually reached out to me when we were having the FMS Lotus issue,
Mhm.
which appears to be self-induced. Like the developers did something wrong, and it caused 3 days of us getting slammed.
So Jeremy found out it was something local, or not. Well, he was investigating whether it affected the local, affected your not bias. What is that called? Processor. or slow down your process or something like that.
No, it was all processing power on the server side.
Oh, got it.
So yeah, they were seeing an increase in resources. So what they did is to get temporarily past it, they just threw a bunch of money at it. They increased the resources we had
To handle it.
And while they were looking for them, they didn't walk away from that. They did that to get a temporary fix, and then they dug in. But it looks like, and we haven't finalized on the root cause analysis, but it looks like it was somebody who deployed something on the 13th screwed something up. And it didn't rear its ugly head until later on, but it looks like that was what caused it. And but Slava reached out to me, and I haven't talked to him in over a year. Reached out to me and was asking questions about it. And my response was, we're aware of the situation. There should be communications coming out shortly. And then like an hour later, I sent out comms, and that was the last I heard from him. I even extended the olive branch as much as it absolutely pained me. When I went out to Chicago, I sent him an email and said, I'm going to be out in the Chicago area. If you'd like, I'd be happy to stop by and we can have a chat. Crickets. Okay?
Fine.
I asked.
I ain't begging to go over there.
Exactly.
The man gave me the answer I was looking for.
The out.
Well, it's smart. It's smart because I remember when Toby went down there, he went to like 4 or 5 schools, so owners talk. And if he would have went down there, he's in his right. But if he would have didn't even tell the guy he was down there, he could have been like, "Well, you came down here," and he didn't want to. Oh, this is personal. So he actually.
I sent him the invite.
Yeah. Hey, on your screen right there, Souderton, PA. That's a new school. Huh?
Yep. So North Penn is down the street from me. Souderton, obviously, my kids went to Souderton High School, and this is actually.
I was like, do they need anything? Could I go?
Well, they're building a new school.
I mean,
could I go?
If you're a hard hat and some saying,
I can't.
Go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, operate the backhoe.
Out with the what?
The back, you're reaching, brother. You never heard of a backhoe, Paul? This.
What's it called?
A backhoe.
Backhoe. It's one of those.
It's not what you think.
The diggers go down and dig out like foundations. And dig
Okay.
and stuff.
Okay, cool.
I want to know what you thought it was.
It's not a.
Thank you, Toby.
It's not a working woman that Robert would
That's
connect
what.
with.
Hey.
What you think it was? I'm just curious.
The name was just different, so I was trying to get the pronunciation of what you were saying.
Backhoe is correct.
Thank you, Toby, because I don't know what the brother
They
thought
also
it
call
was.
it excavators, but a
too.
backhoe typically is the one where it's got the bucket, the digger in the back, and then a front.
Look it up to verify.
Front bucket.
Check it out.
How do you spell it? Back?
Backhoe. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
Now, if you had searched it as something else crazy,
God, my job might have been
on the GSL computer, we would have been having a different talk.
Matt would have pinged me like, "Hey, so you tripped my security."
That kid had been knocking on the door.
So-
Chris, we got
Come
time.
here.
So Chris was backhoe.
What is we doing?
But that's what that is. But yeah, so
Wow, that's a big backhoe, man. Look,
So how many?
that's a huge backhoe.
That's well, not to deviate too far, but I watched a guy. So it's got a like a big digging bucket on the front and the digger on the back.
Mm-hmm.
The company I used to work for, we owned a bunch of these to do the construction for houses, dig foundation stuff.
Yeah, I know you're familiar with this.
I'm in a construction trailer, and you hear this loud engine like making noise outside, and I was doing something. I go to leave, and here, one of the backhoe operators literally took this thing,
The bucket.
and made it do a handstand.
What?
Like he put the front bucket on the ground,
Yeah.
These are
And then
$1 million machines,
took the-
thousands of dollars.
hundreds of $1,000 machines. Took this and extended it. So he basically took this is the backhoe, made it do a handstand.
Put it right
like
up under
this.
the back. Yep.
Yep, made it do a handstand. That thing could have went crush, and I'm like, that motherfucker's crazy.
So he was just having fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
My
yeah,
dad
he's
was
wild.
just-
He's
my
crazy.
dad was-
Yeah.
And you're a manager there, so you're just watching him.
I wasn't. I managed the construction guys, but yeah, I'm just watching him with the $100,000 machine.
Play around.
I'd be like, that was fun, right? Yeah,
They're
yeah,
not,
don't
they're
do
not
that
cheap
shit
either
again.
to rent because my dad running one because he knows how to operate them. So he was using one of these because he used to fix them and operate them. He did a lot. To be honest with you, he he did a lot.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, salute
fixed-
to
he fixed
he does everything,
18-wheelers.
man.
He fixed backhoes.
He fixed
and
this.
He knows how to operate them too. But he was doing one like a year ago. He was operating one, so he sent us pictures. So it was like I had pictures of him like when I was young. He had me in the back of these things riding around. But
Mr. Richardson know how to get it done, bro. That's all.
I've driven them.
Yeah.
Skid steers.
Wow.
Yeah, they because they're very like it's just levers. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So he in the drum, ooh,
Those guys,
like a stick shift.
That thing's tight. You look up like excavators.
Those are the
Excavators.
they get ridiculous. The ones that are just on treads, they get those are the real situations.
Yeah, those things are mad expensive, $1 million machines.
The arm on this is crazy.
Yeah, those and they get big. It's different levels too.
Yeah. That's not even a big one.
Yeah, it is big.
What?
It's
The
like
arm is like reach out and touch.
Yeah, but you watch the guys
It's like
operate
a tank,
this.
man.
So my stepfather was a civil engineer, so he designed like roads and complexes and stuff. And he said when he just graduated from engineering school, he was working for a company, and he said
Yeah, it's huge.
with something that big,
That's huge, man.
they had a guy who was standing there with his back turned to the excavator, talking to somebody, and the excavator operator took that big ass bucket at like 30 feet away and plucked the guy's wallet out of the back of his pocket. Think about how nuts that
If
is.
that would have went left,
he would have
man.
plucked him out of life.
He would have plucked him right.
Like,
Oh,
because-
dude.
You literally went when the guy wasn't looking, went boop, and his dude's wallet popped out of his pocket.
Yeah, those things is
But
it's all hydraulics too, so it's like that's hard to do because it's not like you can.
He must have had some control on that
But you
thing,
do,
man.
Because it's
The
very
Yes.
it's
The operator,
very sensitive.
And even when I tried operating the backhoe, I was like trying to, it's very choppy and but these guys are smooth.
It's smooth, like they can
Yeah.
up,
Yep.
like very smooth. But yeah,
Do you need a special license to drive this, or
No.
once you
No.
buy it?
You're not on the road.
only thing you need to like when you're driving is like obviously if you're doing a truck.
Yeah.
TDL.
If you're going over the road with something,
Mhm.
now obviously you can drive it on the road. It's not really road legal, but
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
you don't need a special license to operate.
Okay.
You
I'll
just need
think-
a lot of experience.
I don't think my dad ever needed any license because he repaired them, so he would just test drive to make sure everything is functioning.
Mhm.
So he's not going out on no long distance road to travel.
Scooting down 76.
They got a radio in it.
Yeah, well, it has one at the top. You
Okay.
can use to communicate. It depends on which one, like how big they are, and what type of site you're on.
So this one is looking at this one.
Yeah, he has that one. He fixed, I think, this one. There's another one. It's not a backhoe. It's a front loader. He fixed those. It's basically the front is a big scoop.
Yeah, it's kind of like a backhoe without the back part.
Yeah.
And a much bigger bucket in the front.
Those are for really just picking up and loading up your 18-wheelers.
Or,
So
or the
dump
big,
trucks.
Big dump
Yeah,
trucks.
yeah. So he operated those as well.
Look at Chuck.
The cell
we
phone
knew
thing.
it. What?
The cell phone
This
thing
is not. We knew this though. Like, I hope he's still on vacation. Well, hopefully when he returns, he could. I messaged what's the name by the way, so I'm waiting for him to respond to let me know where he wants me to ship it. Because not everybody's gonna want a cell phone.
Yeah, I need a phone.
Yeah, everybody's gonna want one.
They will come to us like, yo, Apple.
Right now, the bill has gone down, but I guarantee you, we're not doing it the right way. If we went about it the free way, this bill would stay where it's at. But now we're going to be ordering new phones. It's going to go back up.
What we might be correct, and then Ollie's going to go.
Why is it going up?
Why is it? Because you keep authorizing for us to buy new fucking phones.
You keep just.
I'm
say,
surprised
hey,
he
we
doesn't
got 14.
Pick up on that as the numbers
Well,
guy.
that's what I'm going to go back to Chuck, and I'm going to say, okay, for the regional directors, they're at a higher level. I'm okay if you
Absorbing
want-
that cost.
Absorbing that cost. For the regular franchise consultants, you get an i14,
Yeah, like
which is a whole lot better than the one you got.
A 14 is still a good phone.
Yeah, it's a solid phone. Like I don't.
How much so to rent an excavator at £32,000?
There's a whole place you can go and actually just play with them. Like excavators, like
I would not be playing with this, man.
yeah, and you don't have to have like a license or anything. You just go in
You
there.
can play,
like, they
literally.
teach
Yeah, they'll let you drive all the big. It's like an adult playground.
you- exactly for
Yeah.
these.
Yep.
You gotta. It's no way their insurance policy is not through the roof though.
Oh, they gotta email you the quote, so the price.
So you
That mean the
got-
price is so crazy. Yo, just send me your man.
and the waiver got to be at least 2 to 3 pages.
Like if you do some dumb crap.
The waiver is like when you go skydiving. Like the waiver got to be stupid crazy. All right,
This was like a backhoe. They call this a wheel loader. Wheel.
because there's two. One that uses, and then you got the bulldozers. It's a lot.
Yeah. Yep. Those are front end loaders. I watch. I'm doubting you guys. I'm guessing you guys don't. I watch Gold Rush, which is about.
I think I probably
No, I've never
used to
seen it.
watch it.
gold mining up in the Yukon.
Mhm.
Okay.
And
It's a. Was it? No, it's not on HGTV.
it's on Discovery Channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I watched like not a lot, maybe a couple episodes of it.
It's one of the very, very few shows that it airs on Friday night.
Mhm.
So every Saturday morning when the effing dog gets me up at 6:30, I'll walk the dog and I'll sit down and I'll watch the episode of Gold
Gold
Rush
Rush.
that took place the Friday night before.
Okay.
So,
I thought about getting.
so this excavator, they want 200,000.
Yeah, and that's a used one. Or is it new?
It says year 2023.
23, so it's newer, but still. And that's
Still
not
new,
even,
yeah.
that's a small one.
Yeah, they go.
That's a small one compared to some of the big ones
That's
they get.
what they want for it.
Some of them are $1 million and more.
Yeah, that you can tell it's used, and that's not even from like cat or something. This is I've never heard of
Yeah.
Sandy. If you start looking at cat,
Yeah.
add another 100,000 on top of that.
Caterpillar.
Okay.
No, they call it cat, but oh yeah. All right, well we gotta. By the way, I had my interview with our first level 1 guy.
Mm-hmm.
He did, unless the other candidates are really bad,
Mhm.
this guy's not going to make the cut. I didn't feel, and this is the guy that currently works for the Department of Treasury for the IRS,
Mhm.
and I'm like, I'm concerned about not hiring this guy because he might be like, "What? You didn't hire me? Hey, buddy, can you audit this guy?"
Oh man, like, yeah, he.
You think he connected?
Well, he trying to get out of there because he see what's happening.
Yeah,
Like that's part of it. He's like, you know what? This might be time for a career change.
he just didn't get the questions I was asking, and I mean,
He should understand that working for the IRS.
You'd be surprised.
He and I get. So, I'll give you an example.
Let me make sure my man put his application in.
One of your guys did. Keishan sent me 4 additional resumes.
Which one? No one even told me.
Oh, is it Dwayne Johnson?
No.
The Rock?
Hold on.
Oh, Dewan.
Dewan.
Okay, got it. Dewan. Okay, he's
Okay.
actually my He actually went to Penn State for IT. He's one of my. He didn't graduate, but he went to school for IT with my brother at Penn State main campus.
All right.
So yeah, so
Okay.
he should have some experience.
And the spelling looks an awful lot like Dwayne Johnson.
It do.
With the Y, yeah.
We got to hire this dude and call him the Rock. I might he's getting bonus points just for having a name that we can give him a nickname for.
Yeah. So I sent him the LinkedIn to submit.
Yeah, he submitted it.
Okay, good. Well,
So, to give you an example of the question. Here's a good one. Tell me about, and this is a legitimate question I asked him. Tell me about a time you needed to get information from somebody who wasn't very responsive. What did you do? We'll start off with, does that question make sense?
No, it makes
Okay,
sense.
So you have a person that you're trying to work with and help, and you can't get information you need.
Mhm.
His response was, you research the issue, and I fell asleep by that point in time. Like his response, I literally put down period, no good response, because he
He went off topic.
He didn't understand the questions, and I don't know, maybe if he's used to, tell me about your experience with Windows 11, and I'll talk about that or whatever. But I wasn't asking about his technical stuff, and
He just showed you his customer service background, and the thing, like I said, I have a friend that work in IRS, and I think to a degree, everyone starts off where you're going to be on the phone to a certain degree, especially right now. So you're going to be working with people, excuse me, that's irate, that's not going to answer properly, that's going to have different variative mixed match of issues. So it's like I'm surprised they don't have answers for those questions. I mean, researching the issue is not an answer.
here's another question. Tell me about a time you had to explain a technical issue to a non-technical user in a clear and concise manner. Speaking in non-tech terms, essentially.
Yeah, we definitely do that here.
His answer is, I would guide users to the solution located on the IRS website.
What? All right, so that's another one of my like. What is we doing?
You know what? That actually might be a lot of what we're trying to do here, because he could just send them. He could just send them the Word document. Use this.
His answers just didn't line up with what I was asking. And it's okay to say, well, I don't have any actual experience in that particular, but this is an example of something that's close to it.
Mm-hmm.
The answer of I would guide the users through how to access information on the IRS website. That's not explaining something technical to a non-technical person. So he did not score well, and he was insanely nervous. Like I get that he was young. Not that officially matters, but
I think it's helpful, especially like if I'm being honest, when it comes to someone coming into a level 1 role. Like I know when I started, I was young, right? I think you have to be energetic and patient. That's part of being older, but being young means you're open to growth. You're open to learning, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not that at this age we're not open to learning, but somebody that's young, that's kind of like wet behind the ears, if you will.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
He didn't appear to me to be somebody who's energetic go-getter.
Okay.
He wasn't like a kind of whatever, you know what I mean, like he did, but
he was a little too laid back.
Professional,
yeah,
but he wasn't even laid back. It was just more like he
vanilla.
Vanilla talk slow, like, and I'm like, yeah.
How old is he?
You can never ask, and you never know.
Oh, yeah, how did he look?
My guess is he's in his mid-20s.
We can't say that because when Kobe was there, we thought Kobe was like he weighed and he was older than Matt. So like I didn't even know that until Matt was like, "Yeah, he's older than me." I was like, "He's older than you." Like I was confused. But yeah, you can't really ask. He never really told us any information, to be honest. But
Kobe,
yeah, it was very silent.
Apparently, he had the pot leaf of youth.
But no, you can't really ask.
I mean, y'all told me you could never really get him upset. Like he was always very.
He was upset a couple of times.
But it certainly wasn't like that.
And didn't last long.
Nothing really cared. He was just like,
okay.
He wasn't motivated. Like I mean, he reminds me kind of this guy, but he was still like he was here and present. But he kind of would just remind me of what you just mentioned. He was very laid back when he was on the phone. You can tell he's like. It was funny because sometimes he was on the phone. He was like, "Yeah, I can't help you." I was like, "What?"
I give him an A for honesty.
You're like, yeah.
Hey, listen.
I was just on the other side. I just kind of leaned back. I'm like, he was like,
Kobe, yeah. I don't know what to do.
Like, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't know what to do from here. Like, and he would tell the person, like, I don't know what to do from here. I'm like, Kobe, what's going on? Like, you need help? He's like, yeah.
We both don't know what to do.
It was just funny. But no,
shit out of luck at this job.
But no,
oh man.
So hopefully the other interviews, at least we have some options.
Yeah.
So you pulled 3 so far, right?
I think you pulled 10.
Well, he sent me 10.
Okay, you pulled 3 at a time.
4 today, okay. And I had 1 today. I have 1 tomorrow. Okay. The third one that I sent over to him, I haven't heard back yet from.
Okay.
I haven't looked at the 4 today.
Okay.
But I'll by the end of the day, I'll let Keyshawn know that he can move forward with
whoever.
Yeah, whoever. And
Montgomery wants me to send the phone to his house, so I told him I'll try to see if I can get the order put in today.
So Toby, you think after we get this guy, so see, I leave flip flops,
So-
respectfully flip flops, because at first you said 1, then he said I'm warming up to 2.
And now he's saying let's get it done now.
Now he's like 1.
Well, I don't think he's
Now
saying
we're
one
saying
again.
none. That one, not none. But
Excuse
he's
me?
saying we can start making these changes before we even get somebody in. He's not saying none. I don't
Okay, I was
understand
about
that.
to say.
So here's my hypothetical question: if we don't get somebody hired in by the 20th, which hopefully we do, because again, it
Maybe
takes
the
time to
restaurant
train
person.
this. It takes time to train this person.
Yeah.
Is he still going to be? Are we still locked in on the 20th if this person
Yeah.
isn't ready?
That,
it sounds like
the
for
whole
him,
thing
he's
is-
like,
yeah, the whole thing is contingent upon us getting somebody. And I
Okay.
made that clear from day one.
so I'm just looking at it saying I think we need at least a couple weeks. I don't know what the time frame you give them, but at least a couple weeks to get the person familiar. Because 9 times out of 10, a level 1 person coming in, they don't have a ton of experience. Obviously, they don't know
Yeah.
FMS and all that. But
Even if, so I don't disagree with you, but even if the person who's answering the call, look at it this way.
Mhm.
Spencer level 1, they barely do anything. So they're taking the call, they're logging the ticket, and they're giving it to somebody else.
Mhm.
So even if level 1 Larry is simply taking the calls, logging the ticket, and saying somebody will get back to you shortly,
Mhm.
that and making sure that because you don't need to be technical to say, okay, when we look at Jeremiah's Excel list, this is, they're saying it's an FMS issue. Can I get this information?
right,
Like, he can follow those steps
yeah, it's not hard.
without being technical. We're not asking him to solve the problem. We're asking him to gather all the information.
Right.
And then as he learns, he'll and you work with him, and I work with him, Chris works with him. Then next time he gets that call, he's like, oh, yep, I understand. You go in here, and you're done.
Mhm.
So step 1 for me is just fielding the calls, making sure that all the information we need is there. Looking at the tickets, all the information we need is included in the tickets. Even if you can't resolve it,
Mhm.
he can be the one reaching out and saying, "Hey, owner, can you, through the ticket, can you provide the parent's name and the email address?" And okay, somebody else can take a look at it.
Mhm.
Even that in itself is a big step for us. And then as they're working through that, they're just naturally going to learn how to fix those problems next time they come in.
Right. Yeah. That's the thing. That's what I was saying. So I mean, that could work too. Like if they're because they either way, whether they're fully trained for
They're not gonna,
weeks, so they're not going to know everything. They're going to have questions. They're going to have concerns, I guess, too, whatever it may be.
but we start them off by saturating themselves in the ticketing process, and they're going to learn. Sorry.
I got to tell Brian to hold off on ordering this because he's asking me for a PO
For the cable.
for the $35 kit. It's either or
Just
do you,
ask. You know what? Ask them if they have a non.
that's what I was going to say, like a non OEM
Yeah,
that would fit.
because I would rather go that way. If you can find something that's, $10
I'll be like, hi
less.
Brian, 35 is a little steep. Do you have anything non OEM that would meet the requirements?
Then I would put AKA less expensive.